Have you ever felt nervous before going to an in-person event? This is a really common experience, especially now after 2 years of a pandemic. I'm Madeline, and I'm the founder of the Burst Formula to Communication. And I was thinking about networking because last night I went to an in-person event. It's either the third or fourth event that I've been to in 2 years. And when I was getting ready, I started to feel some of those pre-event jitters. And I had to think about the techniques that have really worked for me in order to go to events and introduce myself to hundreds of strangers. So I wanted to jump on and share a few quick tips today. The first tip number one, is to wear something bright and colorful. Maybe it's a print, but wear something that sparks curiosity and puts out the energy that you want people to talk to you. Because if you're in a room full of black or gray or navy and you're wearing something bright, you stand out, it immediately gets people's attention. Tip number two is to be really intentional with setting a goal for the event. For me, I set an intention to meet interesting people or to make new friends at every event I go to. So I'm never focused on getting clients or making sales, and instead just really there to connect with other human beings and walk away with a great new connection. Tip number three is to embrace the awkward. I've talked to a lot of people who have anxiety about going to events for the first time in years for many of them. And at the same time, in the midst of 2020 and 2021, I talked to a lot of people who had anxiety about going to events on Zoom. And what I want to remind you today is that human beings can be awkward. That's it. Social situations can sometimes have some awkward chit chat. It can be challenging to get conversations started. However, when you set that intention to meet interesting people and to make new friends, none of that awkwardness needs to detract from your goal and your experience. So those are my 3 networking tips that you can implement today. And if you'd like more help with networking, I invite you to check out my article in Forbes, where I walk you through the comms framework to ditch the dread and network with ease.